Hey, it's Andrew Greif of the Oregonian here with John Canzano, columnist of the Oregonian, and we are at Sun Devil Stadium following Oregon's first loss of the 2017 football season. This was a stunner. They were picked to win against Arizona State by more than 2 touchdowns, but they lose. It goes down to the last possession. For as terribly as Oregon played for a lot of times, they still had a chance at the ball twice in the last 2 minutes to go down and kick field goal to win. It didn't happen. Everyone afterward blamed missed execution, but what did you see that kind of led to this result?
Well, I think it's the first time we got to see what this era is really going to be about. Let's face it, Nebraska, Southern Utah, Wyoming, not the level of competition they're going to see in the Pac-12. They were 1 of 11 on third down. They gave up a 3rd and 27. They gave up a 54-yard pass play. There were a lot of mistakes, and yet they were in the game. And I think this era, like Willie Taggart has said, hey, we made the plays to win the game before. They didn't make the plays today to win the game. So I think this era is going to be marked by that. It's going to be nerves. It's going to be your stomach kind of up and down. They're going to lose games maybe we expect them to win. Maybe they'll win a game we expect them to lose. Right. But nothing looks easy right now for them. And I know that it's just one game, but right now it looks like, hey, these are all going to be kind of dicey for them.
And it's a particularly wild swing for those of us who watched the Wyoming game, because that game they held Wyoming to the fewest yards by an Oregon team since 2012. Tonight, N'Keal Harry, the wide receiver, had 170 receiving yards by himself. That's 13 less than Wyoming had as a team last week. He was a terrible matchup for them, Jalen Harvey too, and that went to right what Willie Taggart said all week. These are the best athletes we've seen all year. And I think that goes to your point, that the Pac-12, even the lower rung of the Pac-12, is going to be much tougher than that first 3 game slate really showed.
Yeah, and another thing that I think fans are going to be upset about that bothered me, I saw Royce Freeman with only 15 carries tonight. Justin Herbert had 10. That cannot happen. You don't lose games with Royce Freeman and Justin Herbert having 5 carries separate them offensively. Yeah. I know that's the offense. I know they're going to say it's read option and that was what was there. You don't let that happen as a coaching staff.
Next week's going to be really interesting. Oregon plays Cal at home. Cal hung tough with USC until the final quarter or so, but they look like a much improved program. And before the year, I thought Oregon, that's a win for Oregon. Now, even going into this game, I thought they look better. I don't, especially after this loss, I don't know how you call that game right now, but it's going to be dicey.
Well, I had this one as a win. I mean, I said this was a win. So I think what I just took away from this is it's buckle up. Like he said it, right? Yeah. You know, Willie Taggart said buckle up. I think that the buckle up era is here.
So a couple of the key stats you need to know. 1 of 11 on third down against the country's 129th ranked third down defense. Arizona State couldn't stop New Mexico State in week 1. They come out here, Oregon is stymied the entire game. Everyone said that was miscommunication, horrible communication on the offensive line. They couldn't hear, but they just weren't making the calls too. And then the other one is 14 penalties. Yeah. 14 penalties. That can't happen. They had 4 last week. They had 4 within the first about 5 minutes today. It seems like, undisciplined play, and that's really getting on Willie Taggart's nerves. You can tell afterward he was really upset.
Yeah, you can't have that 14-1 penalty disparity. And Todd Graham talking like, hey, this is a great win for them. I'm not really sold that this says a lot about Arizona State either. I mean, they tried to give Oregon the game, and the Ducks just couldn't execute. And Justin Herbert, not his best night passing the ball either. Not as accurate as we've seen him.
Yeah. The next thing I want to see is how Oregon responds, because last year the loss to Nebraska was their first loss, and everything snowballed after that. To a man down there doing the interviews, all the players were saying that they think this team is tighter. As Arion Springs, the cornerback, said, we're more pissed off. So I think that they want to rally now, but we have to see what's going to happen. They say that they want to do it, but as Willie Taggart said tonight, execution is the key.
Yeah, I saw more Mark Helfrich Ducks than Chip Kelly or even Mike Bellotti Ducks out there. I mean, and what I mean by that is you wrote it like going into the Southern Utah game. The 2 deep came out, or the depth chart came out, and 64 players on the depth chart, 12 true freshmen. So that gives you 52 players that are Mark Helfrich players. So I think that's something to think about.
Yeah. That's it for us from Sun Devil Stadium. Thanks.